This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the cartoon The Adventures of Sam and Max, Freelance Police. Joel.
Yes, Andrew.
This is a request up top. I feel like it got requested a lot of times by the same person. But we kept on getting, it's pretty funny. He's one of our Patreon subscribers now, and I think that's why he did this. So he's requested it before through the website. He's messaged me on Instagram, and then we just kept getting other stuff and like the Discord, and I think he finally was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna join the Patreon, make this a mega request. I want you to cover The Adventures of Sam and Max, Freelance Police. And he even has a new reoccurring segment, so I don't even have to think of that this week. I think every time he's requested something, he's the one who comes up with it, but his name is Seth. I didn't ask him for any shout outs, but we'll say it's to his mom. Everybody's got a mom, I hope. Hopefully he doesn't message us and be like, my mom's been dead for 5 years, you insensitive fuck. I want a refund from the Patreon. I'd give you one too, actually.
We would feel so bad that we're like, you know what?
Oh, there good. This is live now forever. That'd be great for you to always come back to the episode you requested to just remind you.
Appreciate it.
But hopefully your mom is alive and well and also listens to Cartoon Dumpster Dive. And if not, you should force her. She might like it.
She probably won't, but hey, still force her.
Yeah. So what do you feel about point and click games, Joel?
I kind of like them. Just depends on, how fun it is.
Yeah.
You?
I really liked the game Myst back in the day.
Oh yeah. It was fun.
And then there was another one. It was for the Sega Saturn, and it was called. It was a parody of King's Quest.
Okay.
And it was called Dragon's Quest. I never beat it. I was too dumb to figure it out because I was like 8.
I was too dumb to complete any of those point and click adventure games.
Yeah, it's either that or the like text adventures. I just feel like there's something that you take away from it. Which I thought that Sam and Max was exclusively a point and click game because that's how I was introduced to them. I didn't know that I didn't know they had a show, and I also didn't know that they were a comic book first.
The history of this is pretty wild, Andrew. But before we do that,
before we drop into that, let's review that theme song.
Let's hit it. All right.
It's a good one.
I like this.
I give it about an 8, maybe a 9 even.
I was going to give it an 8 too. I love this. The jazz, all of it, it's great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
It gets me jazzed for this show, Andrew.
It also helps you be prepared for the absolute fever dream that this show is. I even am remiss to call this show like a lull random show, because it doesn't seem that way. But we'll get into that after we learn how this show got made.
So, Andrew, this one is a great story.
Got a lot of meat.
It's got the meat, it's got the potatoes, got the asparagus, green beans, whatever that green is you want. It's got it all.
It's got it all. It's a whole meat and 3 of history.
Heck yeah, man. It is. So like you mentioned, based off of a comic book that was created by Steve Purcell. So
Okay.
I'm about to actually just tell you the, abridged version of the entire history of Sam and Max, because it is, to me, it is like the story of Rocky, of the unknown that rised up to be a champion.
Right.
So Steve Purcell, he was born in 61 in California. Had a, good sized family. He had a younger brother whose name was Dave. So how the story goes is supposedly Dave would actually draw Sam and Max comics and just leave them throughout the house. And Steve, just being a sibling and wanted to kind of, torture his little brother, would then pick up his unfinished comics and finish them. And he would actually parody the story that his little brother Dave was trying to make in these comics, and just kind of fuck with them like that. He would go in, make, them call each other the wrong names, give them like guns who they was going to shoot each other, just really mess up what Dave was working on. That just happened throughout their childhood. Well, when they got a little bit older in the late 70s, one year for Steve's birthday, Dave gave Steve a handwritten contract that gave him complete control of Sam and Max.
Oh, nice.
And from there, Steve went to work on, becoming a artist. He actually enrolled in a college, the California College of Arts and Craft. And in 1980, he actually got a Sam and Max comic strip in the weekly, campus newspaper there at college.
Oh, nice. He got into the funnies.
And from there, he graduates college. He spends basically the next 7 years as a freelance illustrator. During this time, he's working on computer video game covers in the 80s. He's working on Sword and Sorcery Gaming Magazine.
Okay.
And he's even doing penciling work for Marvel Comics.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of hands and a lot of thumbs and a lot of pie.
He is leveling up his skills during this time. Well, in 87, this is kind of where Sam and Max get their big break. He actually gets approached by Steve Moncouse, who had a comic out at this time called Fish Stories.
Wait.
Yes, the Fish...
Fish Police.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, Fish Police. Sorry, Fish Police. My notes got kind of jumbled up. Yes. So Steve Moncouse of Fish Police. Police.
You know what? Joel pronounces this a lot better in our episode of Fish Police. Go check it out. It's got fish tits.
Oh, galore. Give me that tuna, You know what I'm saying? So he approaches Steve Purcell and is just like, hey, I got my own production company, which was Fish Wrapped Productions. I'm looking for a second title to release, and I want it to be Sam and Max. So he starts working on a full-fledged 32-page comic, and in 1987, the first issue of Sam and Max is released.
Nice.
Now, in 88, so 1 year after he releases this comic, Steve Purcell lands a job at LucasArts. And he is working in the video game department. During this time, LucasArts is developing a lot of point and click adventure games, things like that. Well, the team at LucasArts, they start using Sam and Max as character models to be like test dummies when they are training new programmers in this system and how to build the game. So they've already got character models and everything built of Sam and Max.
Saxon, man.
God. Sam and Max. And at this point, LucasArts is like, hey, we need a new video game made. Hey, we already have these character models developed. Why don't we just make a game based off of Sam and Max? And that is when, in 1993, the video game Sam and Max Hit the Road is released.
I feel like that's where a lot of people got introduced to Sam and Max.
Yeah. I actually saw an interview with Steve, and he talked about how he's met many people, like many fans of this series, and he says about half of them, it's I was introduced by the video game or introduced by the comic. So at this point in 93, Sam and Max is growing in popularity. They've got a comic, they got a video game now. Well, it gains the attention of Dan Smith, who is a story editor for Nelvana. Dan Smith has been keeping up with Sam and Max. He loves the characters, and he is wanting to create a cartoon based off of these characters. So Dan Smith works with Steve Purcell, and they actually develop a story Bible for the cartoon, and they pitch it to Fox. Fox loves it. They hire it. You know, they basically buy the script. Nelvana starts producing the actual cartoon, and Dan Smith and Steve, they just work on this project. And in 1997, the first episode releases on Fox Kids.
Talk about, like, you know, this story kind of reminds me of the behind the scenes of One Punch Man.
Oh yeah,
where this guy is just like, I don't want to say he keeps falling ass backwards, but it's like people love his. It's like it's more humble, or no, it's more wholesome. Like, people love his stuff so much. They're just like, at first he made a comic in college, and they're like, we really like this. You know, would you want to make a comic for real? And then like, he goes to work at LucasArts, and he's like, okay, well, you know, I'll just put Sam and Max as placeholders for games. And they're like, you know, we really like these guys. Would you like to make a game for it? And then he just keeps just finding people who were like, you really got something. And it's, I want to say that he's working for it too, but it just seems like it's just like, you're super lucky. He just keeps meeting the right people, because Sam and Max is like, it's one of those, I would still consider it an indie title, but it's definitely like a cult hit. Like,
it
people, like, you don't meet someone every day who's just like, but when it's like one of those franchises, like when you meet someone who also likes Sam and Max, it's like, you latch onto them because you're like, no one else likes this. We're gonna be friends. Don't tell me anything else about yourself.
I love this story. It is just a great story. You know, I think it just goes to show that Steve, man, he never gave up on Sam and Max. He was just always honing it.
They're still making games. There's one out for the Nintendo Switch. I will say, Sam and Max don't really translate well in 3D, but maybe it's just a processing thing. Like, it looks like it's made with a pretty bare bones engine, but it's probably pretty fun.
Yeah,
because graphics don't make the game, despite what AAA titles try to tell you.
Yeah, just it's all about the gameplay. As long as the gameplay is fun, it could look like a dog turd.
I wouldn't go that far. But Dog Turd 64, the game.
But, Andrew, I hate to kind of wrap this up on a sad note.
Oh, no.
But Max and Sam, the adventures of Sam and Max, Freelance Police, even though everybody loves Sam and Max, it got canceled literally like 7 months later after it aired.
I wonder why. Because it was funny. It was a good show. It makes you wonder was it in a bad time slot?
So I actually read some stuff on it, and from what I can tell, it looks like they had to tone down Sam and Max to make it kid friendly.
Yeah, and they use more, because they use like handguns and stuff.
They use handguns. They'll swear. So they really had to tone them down. And Steve, his one request was, hey, you can cut down the swearing, you can take out the guns, but I want the characters to still be weird. Like, you got to keep...
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. But I think they were still having the focus as being more for, like, adults, because there was, like, a lot of adult humor in this. Or like, say humor that kids wouldn't get.
For sure.
And I think it was aimed at the wrong market or the wrong audience.
You're saying it should have been on like Fox's Animation Domination.
That Adult Swim, I think if they would have actually kept it like
in 97, did we have Adult Swim yet?
We wouldn't have had Adult Swim, but...
No, we would have... We're still in, like, Space Ghost Coast to Coast is randomly showing up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, so it a little early. I mean, I wish maybe they could have just put it on the back burner until then, but I really think if they was to recreate a cartoon for Sam and Max today, I would want it to kind of follow the comic more to a T, like with... don't tone anything down.
MTV. You remember when MTV or MTV2? I think we're not at MTV2 yet, but they had that one comic show. What was it called? We should cover it soon. The Max, I think.
Max. Okay.
Yeah. And he was like a superhero who was a hobo.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah. It was not a hilarious show or comic. It's very dark, but Sam and Max could go onto MTV and they could be, if you still want them in like 1997, I feel like you could go to MTV and get what you need.
They could have done it on MTV
because MTV had animated stuff.
It did
for a little while.
I think it probably would have done better on MTV. I think that kind of teenage age range would have done a lot better for Sam and Max.
Yeah, very much so. I agree.
But that's it, Andrew. So hit us with the voice actors.
Okay, so the voice cast of Sam and Max Freelance Police are Harvey Atkin is Sam, Rob Tinkler is Max, Pat Hyatt is Grandma, and Tracy Moore is the Geek. Their other works include Henry Atkin is King Koopa in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. I knew his name sound familiar. Rob Tinkler is JD in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Okay.
Pam Hyatt is Kaneda in the English dub of Inuyasha.
Ooh.
And finally, Tracy Moore is Warbeak in Redwall, the TV series.
Oh, that should be something we cover one time. Redwall.
We should. I always wanted to read those books. We have a friend that has them all, and he goes, "There's like 100 of them." I was like, "Never mind."
I've actually read a couple of them off of his recommendation. They're actually really good.
It's like Redwall is like It's like Warhammer in a way.
It's
It's like
would
you
say,
you want to get into it, and then you like see how much there is to get into it, and you're like, I'm good.
it's like I tell people it's like Lord of the Rings, but with rodents.
Yeah, that's how I've always been told. But so let's talk about this show. You know, there was one thing that kept popping into my mind as I was watching this show, and about the time I had made the connection, there was a character that showed up that is exactly like a character in the other show that I was thinking of. I was like, this has really big Earthworm Jim vibes.
Yes.
And who was to show up when I thought this was Mac Salmon, a fish, a goldfish in a bowl with a robot human suit. Just like, I don't remember his name off the top of my head from Earth. I'm not saying that like it's a ripoff or anything. If anything, I would say Earthworm Jim would be ripping off Sam and Max. Because Earthworm Jim came out later. I'm just saying that it's pretty funny that like as I was like, oh, there he is. I love the fact that they're freelance police, which means they don't really have any jurisdiction. They barely do any police work. I also love that this cartoon is like has the indestructible little buddy trope.
Yes.
Because Sam just weaponizes, like whenever they get into a sword fight, Sam just uses Max as a sword, or like if they need to catch somebody that's far away, Sam just immediately on instinct just chucks Max at him. And then Sam is an anthropomorphic dog.
Yep.
And then Max is a hyperactive rabbit thingy, and that's how he's described. They go on all kinds of adventures, from the moon to another planet where rats are being kidnapped by cockroaches. They go to a career day at school, and that somehow gets them into space where they meet a cosmic being called Lactose the Intolerant.
I love it.
It's every episode, and like there's 13 episodes.
Yeah,
and they all have about 2 or 3. Like they're split up into 2 or 3, and the jokes are non-stop.
Yeah.
Like it is hilarious, like the whole way through. There's one where they're going to the Florida Everglades, I believe, and they've destroyed their car, so they have to take the boat. And Max leans out from the boat because they have to take the sewer, and he goes, "Look at all the baby alligators." And Sam goes, "Well, they are log shaped, but they're not alligators, little buddy." And that joke stuck with me. I was like, that's probably the smartest shit joke I've ever heard.
Oh my god. I know.
By the way, it's Tubi, all on Tubi.
Honestly, I'll go and tell you, it's worth a watch.
Oh man, binge it.
Yeah, it is nonsensical in the good way.
Yeah, it's like it is very random, but I found it. I don't know. It was written so well that I found it a lot more coherent than a lot of these shows that are just like, isn't it wacky that a bunch of bullshit is happening? It's like, it's more annoying. This might be really great for kids with ADHD, but I am not entertained.
But they actually still have a story that they tell in every episode.
It's very connected. Yeah, they always have something to say. Like they always just have like little quips that just make you they always make you go, that is pretty funny. There are jokes that are big laughs, but they're always saying something. And then like you meet a lot of Sam's family members. Like you learn a lot about them. Like there's a whole Christmas episode where they break into a prison
Okay.
So their grandma can like help the prisoners.
For what purpose?
No, they're just going to visit a prison, and like these other guys are trying to break out, and like like Sam's grandma looks exactly like Sam, but
just
in
as a grandma.
clothes. Yeah. Like he's also got another relative that's like in World War II, and it's just Sam with a curly mustache. I will say this does have a series finale. I guess they knew they were getting canceled.
Yeah.
And there was one, it made me laugh a lot. But so they got captured by all their villains, and they start having a clip show, but it's not really a clip show. It's a clip show of clips you've never seen. But Max goes, Are we going to do the animation trope of having a clip show so the production company can save money? And Sam goes, yes, now shut up because it's costing us money.
I love that.
Oh man, everything about this show is so good. There was even, and you know what? Kudos to Tubi for timing this correctly, because they never really do this a lot. But I feel like it was the first or the second episode, they make the claim that this episode was funded by some charitable organization. So for the entirety of this episode's run, they're not going to have any ad breaks, but every time they say that, an ad break happens.
Of course.
Oh, and then there was another episode where, so you know what the writing trope is a MacGuffin.
Yeah, like they get out for
just an object. Yeah, they have to get something or someone. That's what's considered a MacGuffin. And then one of the episodes is their favorite snack gets banned, and it's called McGuffins.
Oh,
yeah, I think it's like salty McGuffins or something like that. I'm like, God, this show is just so.
It's so good.
It's just hard not to just crack a smile and just laugh and just enjoy it. And it's a breeze. It's 13 episodes. It made me want more. They break the fourth wall, but not in a way that's like annoying.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I had a really fun time watching this. I'm sorry it took somebody subscribing to our Patreon and being like, just watch the fucking thing to
hurry
get
up
to
and
this
do
point.
it.
Yeah, but we're here now.
I know the animation in this show is actually really well done too.
Oh yeah, and it looks just like the comic. Like it's stylized just like it. It is so cool.
You can tell that when they created this, it was from passion and love for Sam and Max.
I think it was just the wrong network. I think it was the wrong. Yeah, I think they should have went somewhere where they were like, "Hey, we want to make this for adults." Yeah, or more realistically, stoners in their college dorms.
I think you are right. They should have also pitched this idea to like MTV. Because I think if they would have made this on MTV, it probably would have done a lot better. Honestly.
I also wanted to say MTV because I feel like every time we try to think of a new network, we always go, "Wish that should have been on Adult Swim."
True, and Adult Swim, like you said, really wasn't a thing at this point.
If we're trying to save it in its time slot, I'm surprised it didn't go on to Adult Swim like for reruns or whatever. Because it probably would have saved it.
It probably would have
gotten it a new season.
Yeah, I don't know. I think unless they completely change it up, I still think they need to undo the toning of toning the characters down. Yeah. And just make it kind of right on par with the comic.
That would be cool. I would enjoy that. Let's see. I had a thought, but then I lost it. But
oh no.
I believe it's time to go to your new reoccurring segment, Joel.
Yeah.
Reviews that save the world and reviews that hit the road.
Hey, there we go.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you,
took
Seth.
Me no thought at all to think of that this week. Always nice to get a freebie.
So this is sitting on a 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb out of 759 ratings. So not
really that low.
That low, man. I feel like here lately everything's had over at least 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could not find any low scores this week,
Good.
Andrew.
Good.
It is one of those things. People love this. I did find a 10 out of 10, just titled "Hoo Yay." Oh, baby. If you like funny dogs and funny lagomorph, or you have more than 2 brain cells, sorry, amiibos, then you should watch this. It's quite good. That's it.
Oh, that was it? Okay.
That's
yeah,
it. Short
a
and sweet.
lagomorph is the type of bunny that Max is supposed to be.
Gotcha.
But I liked it better because in the comics he's described as just a hyperactive rabbit thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love the character designs. They just, I don't know, they complement each other so well.
They do. And, Max is very rubber hose style of animation.
Yep.
You can just you can make him whatever you need to make him to like keep the story going and the jokes rolling. And it's just like, that's kind of why I love the little indestructible buddy trope, because it's just like you can do
so much,
everything with him, and it's great.
It literally is. When you have that, you're just focused on, hey, we're just gonna nonstop. We're gonna keep the jokes and the flow of everything going at a high pace.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I believe that wraps up the adventures of Sam and Max, Freelance Police. Any closing thoughts, Joel?
Watch it. It is worth your time.
Tubi's free, so you literally got nothing. You really got no excuse but to have it on your phone and
look. You would knock out these 13 episodes in like 3 hours, if that.
Absolutely,
3-4 hours.
The only thing, I don't think you can download episodes from Tubi, but still, give it a watch
with the ads.
With the ads, it's like Wayfair and shit like that. Buy yourself a desk that has a kid in it, or whatever that one conspiracy theory was.
Oh, that Wayfair was like sex trafficking.
Wayfair was like
trafficking.
Sex trafficking. You could buy a fucking wardrobe closet that had a child in it. I'm like, that seems really fucking elaborate.
Can you imagine that one guy who was not in on the, hey, you got to go order this particular thing to get a child? He's just like, oh man, this is going to look great in my new home. Order, gets a child. He's like, what is this?
What the hell?
What?
Well, if you would like to support the show so we could buy a coat rack that comes with a child, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have the $5 tier. It gives you access to our Discord, bonus episodes, episodes with extended audio, stickers and pins mailed right to your door. We have a website, cartoondumpsterdive.com. There you can have a regular request. But if you want a mega request, you got to go to that Patreon. We have an X handle, CartoonDD. We have Cartoon Dumpster Dive on all other social media platforms. And as always, we appreciate a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice, so we can become freelance podcasters. We'll do every show available. Yeah, just, you know what? Subscribe to our Patreon. And we'll do a whole other show. I'm just kidding. We barely have the time to do this show. Anyway, have a great rest of your week.
See you.
This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the cartoon The Adventures of Matt. Fuck.
Matt. Who's Matt?
I'd Sam first, not Max. All right, let me try again.
This has been a Lughole podcast.